Hi friends, in the last class we have seen the ray diagrams formed for an object placed in front of convex lens. We will see now ray diagrams for, actually there is only one ray diagram for concave lens. So let us explore that. After that we will see the remaining part of the lesson. There are some very important topics coming on. So let's see. Ray diagrams of image formation for an object placed in front of biconcave lens. So you can see here there's a biconcave lens. Its optic center is here, principal axis. Let me tell you friends, this case is discussed only with single case, for concave lens. The reason is you place object anywhere, whether it is at focus, after focus or after center of curvature, result is same. Only one thing changes, that is the position of image. Remaining part is same. So let us take object somewhere between F and C and let us see where the image forms, what kind of image forms. So as per rules, we'll take first a light ray traveling parallel to the principal axis. We know the rule that it will diverge in such a way that it appears to be coming from focus. So we'll draw a line, dotted line from focus. Now see, it will diverge in such a way that it appears to come from focus. Okay. So it diverged. We'll take one more light ray from the top of the object, that is towards the optic center. We know any light ray passing through optic center goes undeviated. Right. Now you can see these two would never meet in front of, the other side of the lens. But if we extend them backwards, you extend this backwards and you can see here it is, this is the point where these two refracted rays can meet if they are extended backwards. So here the image forms. So this is the object and this is the image. Look at the image, you can assess the characteristics. The characteristics of the image, you can see first of all, let's talk about position first. It is same side of the lens. Okay. Image formed on same side of lens. Right. And look at this, is it erect or inverted? If it is erect, then what kind of image is that? Yes, it's virtual. So it is virtual, erect. We know that whenever refracted rays really meet, it is a real image. Whenever they are extended to meet, then it is a virtual image. And if it is virtual, it must be erect also. What about the magnification? Is it enlarged or diminished? It's very clear it is diminished. Diminished image. So I suggest you all that if you want to check it out anywhere, change the position of the object and you try to draw the ray diagrams as per the rules, you would definitely get always a virtual, erect and diminished image. Only position changes according to the position of the object. This is what the ray diagrams for biconcave lens. Right. Now we'll quickly move on to the lens formula. Lens formula, 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. This is the lens formula. We are not very much interested in the derivation part, not there in CBSE, so don't worry. So f here is focal length, v image distance, u object distance. Formula is very clear. What does it tell? It tells that if you want to find out one of the thing, whether it is focal length or object distance or image distance from a given situation, when a lens is placed, object and image, in that situation this formula is very much helpful. So if you know at least two, you can find the third one. Right. See, we'll see how we'll use this equation further. Right. So So one more thing, sign conventions for this formula are as applicable as we have learned in the earlier classes. Anyway, I'll repeat it once again. Yes, so I was talking about sign conventions. When let us say the object is here, the light is coming from this side, then I told you that the direction in which light is coming will be taken as positive, and the direction opposite to light is taken as negative. What it means is, if you are measuring any length like object distance or image distance in the direction of light, then it is positive. Any length measured from the optic center in the direction opposite to direction of light, then it is taken as negative. Right. Any length measured above the principal axis considered positive, and any length measured below the principal axis considered negative. For example, let us say here we have a lens. Let's say this is the object. Okay, from the optic center, see light is coming in this direction from the object, but we will measure object distance in this direction. So object distance u will be negative. If we are measuring, let us say the image of this formed somewhere here, and let us say we are measuring the image distance in this direction. It started here, and this is the direction of measurement from optic center to image. So it is in the direction of lights. So this image distance v will be positive. That's very clear. Object, you can see here, it is above the principal axis, so object height will be positive. Similarly, here image is below the principal axis, so the height of the image will be negative. So that's very clear. Now we will move on to how to find focal length of a given lens. This is a lab activity. Sometimes it comes in your practical, but very simple this is. Let us say, what is the aim? Aim of this experiment is, take a lens. Let us say you are given a lens. You got to find out the focal length of that lens using some apparatus. What are the apparatus? You take an object, that is candle having a flame, and you require a lens holder there, and you require a screen where the image forms, because convex lens will form real image in most of the cases except in one case. So we will take that, right? So now what to do? Okay, I'll first introduce you to the table here, observation table. So you got to record object distance, image distance, focal length, and then you got to take average. I'll come on with that. So first, see, this is the arrangement of the apparatus. You got to place lens in between object and screen. Okay, lens on lens holder. Okay, and let us say you measured with a meter scale the object distance, and now move the screen forward and backward. At one point you will get a very sharp image. Stop the screen over there, and that will become the image distance. Image distance is from the lens to the screen. That will become the image distance. Record both u and v in this table. So once you get u and v value, you can calculate f value using this formula, using the lens formula. Then you will repeat this experiment, because you will repeat at least 3 times to minimize the error which we do generally in the experiments. So we are going to get 3 values of focal length, f1, f2, f3, and then we will take average of all these 3 values, f1, f2 and f3. We get finally one value of 10. So that will be the focal length of the lens. This is what the practical, or in the exam also it can be asked, and you could easily write it. Next, we will see change in focal length along with surroundings. Some time back, a student asked me a question: why a myopic eye can see things better in the water? So that can be answered if you understand this part. Let me tell you, let us say a convex lens focal length is some 15 centimeter, but when it is in the water, its focal length changes. It can increase. So let's see first an experiment to understand it. Let us say we take a vessel and we place a stone at the bottom of that vessel, and let us bring a lens holder and let us place a lens, biconvex lens, and your eye is here, you are watching from the top, you're trying to watch this object. So now tell me, image will be forming somewhere here. When light rays pass through this lens, it will form an image this side, and you can see that image of stone somewhere here, right? Now let us mark this length of the lens holder from where lens is placed. Now what we do, fill up this entire vessel with water and again bring on the lens holder to the same position along with the lens, and now you check it out whether you can see the stone or not. You can't see it. The reason? Now the focal length of this lens changed. Earlier, depending on its focal length, you arrange this lens holder until here, but now the focal length of this lens changed, so you got to change its position. Now you got to place your lens holder somewhere here. So you could see clearly that the focal length of the lens, then now you can see the stone. What it means, you change your position of the lens holder, and now you can see in the water from this position. This is different and this is different. So it means that the focal length of the lens changes along with the surrounding medium, right? So this is a formula which actually tells you why focal length changes along with the surrounding medium. You can see in this relation, focal length is depending on refractive index. Mu is representing refractive index of the medium, surrounding medium. If surrounding medium is air, focal length will be something. If surrounding medium is some water or some other liquid, then it will be something else. So focal length changes along with that. Okay, a small note for you all that it's not there in CBSE, but it is very much helpful to understand the concepts better, right? What is R1 and R2? R1 is radius of curvature of the first surface. Lens have, you all know, lens have two radius of curvatures. The first surface have a radius of curvature R1, and second surface have a radius of curvature R2. So this is that relation which gives you an idea how focal length changes along with surrounding medium, right? Friends, now we will see power of lens. It is the ability of a lens to converge or diverge the light rays. So we all know when light falls on the lens, let us say on convex lens. So it is the ability of this lens whether it will converge this much or this much or this much. So that ability to converge or diverge, that is called power of a lens. So the other way of defining that is the reciprocal of focal length. Simply that's how the formula is defined. P is equal to 100 by F if focal length is in centimeter, or it is equal to 1 by F if F is given in meters, right? So if focal length is positive, power is also positive. If focal length is negative, power is also negative. So it's very clear. Generally we know for biconvex lens, focal length is positive, so power also will be positive. For biconcave lens, focal length is negative, so power also negative, right? So units of power is diopter. When you're writing in full, small d, diopter. When you're writing only symbol, capital D. That's the rule of units, right? Then we talk about magnification, the quantity which gives us an idea whether image got enlarged, diminished, or remained same. This we have already discussed in our previous classes. Magnification value clearly tells about the image. What kind of image is that? We can understand using M value. So formula of lens, magnification of lens is V by U This is unlike the earlier formula minus V by U for mirrors. For lens it is only V by U, not minus V by U. V by U is equal to Hi by H naught, height of the image to height of the object. We are not very much interested how that has come, not part of CBSE syllabus. You will learn this in class 12 or 11, you will learn, right? So again you can find out, if you know any two values here, you can find out magnification and you can understand about the image. Let's move on. We will use that in numericals part. Yes, now we will learn about combination of lens. Sometimes they ask you questions about combination of lens, so you must be well prepared, armored with this concept. Let us say there are two lenses whose focal lengths are f1 and f2. Let's say they both are in contact. Then in that case, what is the focal length of the entire system of these two lengths? So in that case the formula will be 1 by f is equal to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2, right? So you are just adding both the focal lengths reciprocally. And similarly for magnification of the entire system is given by multiplication of the magnifications of the two lenses m1 m2, m1 into m2. Power, obviously we know power is reciprocal of focal length, so power of this entire system will be P is equal to P1 plus P2, right? So if suppose there are more than two lenses, in that case you can see focal length of the system can be found out with this formula, magnification with this formula, and power with this. So generally this we learn when we are talking about telescopes or microscopes. At that time these formulas are very much helpful, useful for us, right? If let us say if two lenses are separated by a distance d, here are the two lenses having focal length f1 and f2 and the distance between them is d. In that case you can measure the focal length of this entire system using this formula, 1 by f is equal to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 minus d by f1 f2. D is the distance between them. Similarly you can find out the power of the entire system, P1 plus P2 minus D P1 P2. Hope you understood about the combination of lens. Then let's see a numerical based on the lens formula. The question is, let us say there is a biconvex lens of focal length 10 centimeter. Now that this lens is placed at a distance of 12 centimeter from a wall. Now the question is, at what distance the object should be placed so that a real image forms on the wall. Okay, so you got to place somewhere an object. So you have to find out this. So this is, you know, this is u. So you have to find out u value from the question. So given information f is equal to plus 10 centimeter. Remember, for biconvex lens focal length will be positive because when object is this side, its focal length is also this side generally. So both are in same direction, so positive. And let's talk about the image distance. It formed in the same direction of light. We are measuring from optic center towards the screen. So it is plus 12 centimeter. Right, just apply this in the mirror formula, 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. So 1 by 10 is equal to 1 by 12 minus 1 by u. Bring on that. 1 by u is equal to 1 by 12 10. So on solving we would get u value minus 60 centimeter, right? So this is the object distance, right? Friends, in this numerical they have given us there is an object of height 2 centimeter. It is placed in front of a biconvex lens of focal length 10 centimeter and it is placed at a distance 15 centimeter from the lens. What we have to find out? We have to find out the position of the image, where does it form. We have to find out the height of the image and then we also have to find out magnification. So three things we have to find out. So first, the given information which we have is f value for biconvex lens, focal length is positive, it is 10 centimeter, and we have object distance which is minus. I hope you understand why I placed it minus. Light going in this direction, we are measuring object distance from optic center in the opposite direction. That's the sign convention. Minus, it is 15 centimeter. So let's find out V value, because if we get V value, then we can apply this in magnification formula, right? So 1 by f is equal to 1 by V minus u. 1 by 10 is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by, it is minus 50. So bring on 1 by V is equal to, bring this side, 1 by 10 minus 1 by 15. Then we are getting V is equal to 30 centimeter. On solving this LCM, we are going to get V value 30 centimeter plus 30, right? So once we got the V value, let us first find out the height of the image. So we know height of the image by height of the object is equal to V by U. So in this we know height of the object is given. Height of the object is 2 centimeter, right? So HI by 2 is equal to, V value is 30 and U value is minus 15, right? So you are going to get height of the image minus 4 centimeter. So we got height of the image, we got V value. We are just left out with magnification. Magnification formula, M is equal to HI by H0. HI minus 4 by H0, it is 2. So M is equal to minus 2. So let me tell you friends, in the question they also asked what are the characteristics or what is the nature of the image. So looking at the M value, we can clearly tell this minus. See, earlier a student asked this question that, sir, minus 2 means less than 0, so it will be a diminished image or something like that. Let me tell you, in magnification you got to see sign and number separately. Don't combine them, understand it separately. Minus is indicating that it is real, plus will indicate virtual. So minus is indicating real, it means it is inverted also. And 2, now look at the number separately, don't include sign. 2 is generally greater than 1. If it is greater than 1, it must be enlarged. So we got our answer. The image is real, inverted and enlarged. Right? Hope you understood how to solve the numericals using mirror formula.